Alright, y'all. Welcome back. If you are tuning in for the first time, my name is Quincy Arsenal. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you are already a subscriber, if not, let's get the housekeeping out the way. Please like, subscribe, comment at some time in the video, and thank you for being here. So first of all, today's video is about embracing hardships. Why embracing hardships? You ever got into a new venture? You ever been dealing with anything in your life? Some people have grown up in rough homes. You might have gone to a school where you've been bullied, or anything else that really could have happened in your life that you felt is just too hard. Well, the only way to get through it is to actually go through it. So, what hardships have you faced in the past? What hardships are you facing today? Before you answer that question, let me tell you about mine. I've been through a plethora of hardships. Growing up in Louisiana, the first thing is you get out your feelings. Whether you're mad, whether you're sad, whether you are angry and mad, the same thing, but people flash out in different ways. You're always taught to just get out your feelings. Are you really taught to handle it? Maybe through violence. You may be taught to handle it through suppression. That's why a lot of people go to drugs and alcohol. Hardships that I faced, everything from at home. I wasn't never abused or anything. I just didn't really always get my way. Another thing would probably be relationships. Been through fair share of relationships in life. The one that I have now is amazingly beautiful. There are also other things like, I come from a sports background, so you can be going through a hardship with fighting for a spot. You could be going through a hardship of fighting for a job. At this current stage in my life, I'm currently building a career in commercial real estate. In that career, I jumped in very green. I didn't know anything about commercial real estate. I didn't know anything about real estate, period. And I jumped into arguably the longest sales cycle in a salesman's career. When I'm selling the business or I'm selling some property, it can take as little as 6 months. Homes take about a month. 2 months at most, depending on what's going on. But in commercial real estate, you're looking at 6 months to 15 months, depending on what's going on with the city, permitting, insurance, etc. Rates is driving people crazy right now. Whether you're in the real estate market, whether you are a forex trader, whether you just in business of any kind, you are feeling the impact of rates and inflation. So I quit a perfectly good job. I was teaching for like 3 years. It was super easy, dog. It was super easy. I was just teaching kids how to better themselves. I was a PE teacher, and I was coaching everything that I already knew what to do. But I realized that I had a cap. I had a cap on the amount of money that I made, so I decided to embrace the hardships of getting into commercial real estate. I'm about 8 to 9 months in now in my first year. The average age of a commercial realtor is 60 and a white man. I am 28 years old and I'm black. I am the youngest person in basically every room that I walk into, and I am the darkest person in pretty much every room that I walk into in this industry. Now you ask yourself this. You walk into a foreign room with people that don't even look like you, that's much older than you. How do you embrace that hardship? How would you embrace that? At first, I was hella shy about it. I was just a little bit insecure. I was like, man, I don't know anything about this market. I don't know anything about sales. They over here, they got the nice suits on, nice shirts, them all pressed down. Boom, got the suit on, got the tie, everything, the cufflinks. They got it all. And I'm sitting there like, I can't even tell you what a cap rate is. I can't even tell you what's going on with the permitting in my city, in my county. But luckily, I said, bro, I'm going to win either way. I'm a champion. I've won many championships from Pee Wee all the way through college. Through those experiences, you actually get a way of understanding that there are basic fundamentals to winning. Those basic fundamentals to winning is, first of all, is your mindset. Your mindset is big. I spoke about that on my channel, and I'm always going to speak about it on the channel, because through hardships, you might get beaten down. You might have been through the bad relationships. You might have been abused domestically. Your parents might have abused it. You might have never been loved by nobody. But yet, you're still here. Why? Because there was something that you was like, I'm going to get over this shit. I'm going to get over it. I don't want to be unalive. And I actually want to experience some more of life. And you got through that. That's a way of embracing hardship. When you're embracing hardship, your mindset is the biggest thing. Your mindset is number one. You always got to tell yourself, like, you got to be like, I'm the man. I am him. I might not have it now, but I'm going to figure it out. Then you have to understand that another fundamental of winning is through planning. So in commercial real estate, I was just like, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to make millions of dollars my first year. Let me start off with getting to $250K. That doesn't seem like such a big goal. But when you start not in an area where you don't have no family, you have no background for real. I was basically isolated as a teacher because everything was in that teaching community, because I was in there from 6 o'clock in the morning all the way until about 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and then restart all over again, because when I was teaching, I was waking up at 3:15 to go work out before work. In that time, I was planning. That's why you see this shit right here on my wall. This is a whole bunch of basically life plans. This is called the Champion Trifecta. I got this from Brandon Carter. Big help from a lot of his videos and becoming a young entrepreneur, self-made billionaire eventually. And through that planning, you have to look at what other people are doing. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying you need to be comparing yourself to other people. You need to be looking at what other people are doing. You need to get a mentor. Whatever you're having a hardship in, there's somebody that has already done it. The world has been around forever. Arguably, people have been around for hundreds of thousands of years, and society has been around for about 12,000 years or more. They're going to say 6. Erosion on the pyramids say that they've been around for 12,000 years, because the last rain that happened in that part of the world was about 12,000 years ago. And that weather erosion is on the pyramid. So you can't really trust carbon dating. Let me get back on topic. So whenever you are going through these hardships, you need to seek out help. There's no shame in seeking out help, bro. Whether that be therapy, whether you just need to talk to someone like your spouse, whether you need to talk to your best friend or something, you probably ain't spoke to them in months. Call that person. Text that person. DM that person. Go take a walk, clear your mind, and then come back to planning. Because a lot of the answers that come through your intuition comes when you're really not focused on it at all. When you're really not thinking about it. And whenever you're really not thinking about it, that's when your subconscious mind is able to take in everything that it is. Granted, your subconscious mind is probably fucked up. If you grew up in, or if you are surrounded by, forget growing up, most of us grown now, you probably surrounded still by BS. Figure out how you can put yourself in a better position in order to allow your subconscious mind to work on itself. So we got the mindset. We have the planning. Next for embracing hardship is to take action. Taking action during hardship is probably the hardest thing to do. Why? Because if you're going through something tough already, if you're not experienced with going through trials and tribulations, or you've been through enough trials and tribulations, you're probably going to say, bro, I want nothing to do with this. I'm just going to give up. Or you're going to say something like, I don't really know if I can do this. You're going to be feeling kind of wavy about your abilities. But either way, you need to take action. I struggled with that for a minute with call reluctance. A big thing of getting into a commercial real estate career is prospecting. You get leads, you might get leads. Occasionally I get some leads, and you still have to make those calls. You still have to have that touch. You still have to get on the phone with them. You still have to visit them. And you got to think about it with someone that was incompetent, coming out of career that was, I guess you can say, super easy. Going in front of business owners that have been doing this for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, that actually know more than you, more about your industry than you know. How do you get over something like that? Insert your career or your ventures inside of mine. How do you get over something like that? The way that you get over something like that is through taking that action. Practice, execution, practice, execution. Planning is not practice. Planning is planning. Practice is executing, actually doing it. And you just keep on doing it and keep on doing it and keep on doing it, even when you don't feel like doing it. Just like whenever you need to work out. If you look down and you can't see your toes past your stomach, it's going to be okay. Maybe you just have a lot of gas and you need to let it out. Or maybe you need to actually be consistent in your life about what you're doing about your life. Be consistent by taking action. That's 3. Mindset, planning, and taking action. Now, in embracing hardship, there's one more key skill that you need to establish within yourself in order to complete this this cycle. Because it's gonna come. Every time you level up, you're gonna get met with new problems. Every time you reach the next level, you're gonna get met with new problems. So that last part is reassessing. The last part of this is reassessing. So after you have gone through your mindset, you've made a plan and you've executed that plan, now it's time for you to see what you have done wrong or what kind of adjustments you could have made to make the path unseen a little easier. That being tracking your calls, tracking your conversations, and then seeing how you could have structured the conversation better. Was it your tone that threw off that lead? Was it the lack of information that you didn't have? Was it the call? Was it the time that you called? Did you call them too many times? Did you not text them, email them, etc.? You can translate this into anything. And then you do it again. You do it again. You do it again. Keep making sure your mindset stays there, because as you climb higher, you can't expect your mindset to stay the same. It's just like eating. It's just like taking a bath. You eat, you don't expect to stay full forever. You take a shower, you don't expect to stay clean forever. So why do we expect to stay motivated forever? Why do we expect to go through life day in and day out without feeding our minds something that's going to help our mindset? There's best practices to help with your mental. Pretty sure I've spoke about it on many videos. And truthfully and honestly, you have to believe in yourself. That's part of mindset, but some people might have the mindset, but they still don't believe in themselves. Confidence is just too low. So hardship You're meant to go through hardship. You're a human being. Human beings at one point in time was walking on that hard ass grass or whatever the fuck without shoes. I know you're like, what relevance does this have? You go walk around the country without shoes and see how hard that is. You go ahead and do whatever you might not even like your job and you might find that hard, like, but you go every day. Why? For somebody else. So how about you do it for you? I'm not saying that you gotta be an entrepreneur. You might be an entrepreneur. You might be an employee that's happy with the amount of money that you make in the job that you have. What I'm saying is, don't give up in hell. If you're going through hell and you stop, you're going to be in that forever. But you can go through the shadow of the valley of death and come out the other side victorious. And that's why I'm here. So, thank you all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please leave a comment if there's anything that I can address or maybe that you'd like for me to emphasize on in the future. And I'll see you at the top.